Hi, welcome to the first video of the series on Warren Buffett shareholders letters. As we discussed in the introduction video, first we are going to go through the partnership letters which Warren Buffett wrote in his early partnership before he acquired Berkshire Hathaway and started writing annual shareholder letters. Now, I'm going to start with the year 1957 and 1958. Given that those were fairly small letters, 1 and 2 pages, I'm going to club them together in one video. Now, how I've gone about doing this insight analysis on those letters is I've picked those letters, gone through them in detail, and I've highlighted areas where I think certain the lack of use of word needs to be ingrained in an investor. So let's start. Let's start with 1957 letter. Again, it was a one pager. The first thing that strikes you was the clarity of thought that Warren Buffett had, and obviously his writing skills went on to a really different level over the years. So I'll not talk about those in this videos. What I'm going to talk about is 5 pieces of wisdom, investing wisdom, which I picked up in 1957 letter. The first was. The first thing was around the type of investments, where he talked about workouts. Now, that was a new term for me, and this is how Warren Buffett defines it. It says that a workout is an investment which is dependent on a specific corporate action, mark the word corporate action, for its profit, rather than a general advance in price of stock, as is in the case of undervalued situations. So, what are those workout? What are those situations which trigger appreciation of values in securities? Those are your mergers, your spin-offs, liquidations, tender offers, and things like that. So in this letter, Warren Buffett described that he had a portion of his portfolio always allocated to workouts, which is really great, because he had clarity of thinking that you need to put a certain portion of your portfolio for those workout situations, because they tend to work out irrespective of how market behaves. Even if market is going down, your workout portion of portfolio would work out if the action on which it is waiting works out. So that was his definition on workouts. Now, the second thing which was really important, which I picked from this letter, was objective. What was his objective when he started off? His objective primarily was to find undervalued securities which were trading or quoting much below their in-shrink value. So with that goal in his mind, he started investing in undervalued securities. Now, there was another soft issue where he touched upon the role of luck in short term, and I would tend to quote him: performance emphasizes the importance of luck in short run. So investment returns, if you've made a lot of returns in year 2014 in India because there was a huge bull market, be humble, because investing returns in short term are more because of luck than your investing acumen. That was one important lesson which we got from Warren Buffett 57 letter. Now, the last two lessons were: how should you judge your performance? Now, very clear indication was given. Warren Buffett wanted him to be judged on his performance in years when market was not doing well. So if S&P went down by 10% and his portfolio went down by 5%, he thought that to be a good criteria to judge whether his portfolio was good or market beating or not. Final thing which I got from the 1957 letter was the importance of praying that your new investment idea is not really well known, because in this age of information technology, if a guy is after a stock and if it gets through to few more people, the stock price appreciates and you're not able to buy a full position. So don't talk about your stock until you have bought the full position. That was my final insights from 1957 letter. Now, moving on to 1958 letter, and again in 1958 letter as well, I got 4 important insights for you to take away from 1958 level. So now, first thing, and very subtly, he mentioned that if you're a growing company and if you're having a good earning power, and he talked about this in the context of Commonwealth Trust Company, was that if you're a growing company and if you're not paying out dividends, your stock prices are going to be depressed. Now, what does that mean? What insight can we take out of that statement? It means that if a company has good earning power and it is not paying out regular dividends, once it starts paying regular dividends, the stock prices would go off the roof. That's the first insight that I got from that letter. The second one was around the role of liquidity and why illiquidity should not matter you while you're investing in equity markets. Now, the company that he bought, which was Commonwealth, had only 300 odd shareholders. So even a small buy order from Warren would have triggered a huge appreciation of price if it was a buy order, and on the other side, a sell order would reduce the price of that stock. So if you are operating in small companies with limited float, leading to a liquidity in the market, you're bound to get the volatility when you invest in those kind of situation. So never be afraid of illiquidity. Go and buy the stock if you're really happy with the valuation and you're happy with the management. The third thing which we got from this letter was the concept of relative undervaluation. I think this is the most important concept that we got from the 1958 letter, at least for me, because it not only talks about judging your portfolio and marking securities in terms of undervaluation, but also gives you an opportunity to evaluate when to sell a company. Now, he talks about that he invested in Commonwealth and that the stock price it moved from $50 to $80. Here's intrinsic value which he calculated at that point of time was $125 per share. So at that vantage point, when he has invested and when he has seen that his relative undervaluation has moved in a year, because relative undervaluation was fairly less at $80 per share compared to $50 per share. So if you have opportunities which are relatively undervalued to your existing opportunities, this relative undervaluation calculation can help you determine whether you want to do whether you want to sell out one of your existing positions or not. So I think that was one of the important concepts which we got in this 1958 letter. Now, obviously, the other point which I got from this letter may not be applicable to all retail investors. Was if you are the largest stockholder, if you are controlling the company, you can change the timing of the workout, which will lead to potentially a right outcome or potentially profiting outcome for you. So, as a controlling shareholder, you always have advantages which you don't have as a minority or a passive shareholder who is not actively managing the operations of the company. So I'll probably quote for your reference, which says that we're the largest stockholder and this has substantial advantages many times in determining the length of time required to correct the undervaluation. So as a control investor, and we've seen in situations like where companies go and do buyback, so that gives a positive signal to market and the stock prices jump. So that was another important point. And my final lesson which I got from this situation was Warren Buffett's thinking. Now, in 1958 letter itself, he was talking about creating workout situations by acquiring controlling stake in the companies. So here is a guy who's just started partnership couple of years back, but is having confidence that he is going to get into small companies, take a controlling stake, and then he is going to push for actions which are going to change the overall undervaluation situation which we have in market for that particular security. Now, take a back seat. If you're a real investor, probably you won't be able to do this on your own, even if you have read this letter multiple number of times. But what it shows was the kind of thinking that man had, and the kind of vision he had for his partnership. So I hope you liked all the 10 points which were important and which we got from 1957 and 58 letter. Hopefully there are a few more insights to gain when you actually read those letters. So do share those in the comment section of the video. I hope to see you again with a new video on with few more letters. Thanks. See ya.